After days of waiting, Joe Biden projected to become the next president of the United States. Meantime, President Trump says he's pursuing legal action to hold office. The developments from D.C. this morning. Cases of COVID-19 surging to new highs in Michigan. We're breaking down the latest data and concerns from health officials as we head into winter. Many families working overtime to keep up with remote learning, how one local church is helping students and parents find the resources they need. Today is Sunday, November 8th.
Covering West Michigan to protect and alert you. This is News Channel 3, live at 8.
Good morning. You're watching News Channel 3. I'm Hannah Knowles. It's good to see you here this weekend. Let's take you live outside over Battle Creek. It's Sunday. Good morning. Time to check in now with meteorologist Christina Anthony. We hope you are waking up with a cup of coffee, ready to enjoy some more sunshine.
Yeah, it's going to be warm sunshine too, Hannah. Another warm day ahead, and we're going to keep our weather, in a word, warm all the way through Tuesday. We're talking about record-challenging warmth here all the way through Tuesday. Yesterday, we were just shy of that record, but I think that we're meeting them and exceeding them today, tomorrow, and on Tuesday out ahead of a front. That front at this point is way over here, bringing snow to the Rockies. It's going to take a long time to get to us, not until like Tuesday evening. So we'll sneak in a few nice days until that happens. Satellite and radar showing nothing going on across the mitten. Now there could be some clouds trying to stream in here from the south during a portion of the afternoon, but I think still in general today is going to be fairly bright and warm with those temperatures around 70 degrees. In the meantime, yeah, you'll need a sweater or so early this morning if you're stepping outside. Decking the halls, it's a possibility if you want to get that stuff in before November-like weather returns. That happens just later this week. We'll have sunshine at noon, at 4 o'clock, just mixing with some clouds, and by 8 o'clock, it's mainly clear. When I'm only forecasting highs in the 50s, Hannah. That's live at 8.
It's always been a bad bet to bet against America. We're good people. This is the United States of America, and there's never been anything we've been not able to do when we've done it together.
This morning, America waking up to a new political landscape as the Associated Press and CBS project former Vice President Joe Biden to be the 46th President of the United States. History made in many ways, including with his running mate, Kamala Harris, now the projected vice president. As for President Trump, he's pushing back this morning. Sinclair's chief political correspondent Scott Thuman joins us today with new developments from Washington.
For all those of you who voted for President Trump, I understand the disappointment tonight. I've lost a couple times myself, but now let's give each other a chance.
Pledging to heal the wounds of a nation split, Joe Biden vowed it a top priority for his future administration. Meanwhile, outside the White House Saturday night, a crowd celebrating the president's projected loss, taking over the same street they had to flee back in June for a photo op. The president was golfing at his Virginia Country Club when the Associated Press broke the news. Trump's ride home, flanked first by supporters, eventually outnumbered by those at times chanting, "You're fired." But in a defiant written statement, the president refused to concede, insisting the election can and should be settled in the courts.
Obviously, he's not going to concede when at least 600,000 ballots are in question.
The campaign filed another lawsuit Saturday, this time in Arizona, over contested ballots and confusion they allege caused by inexperienced workers on new voting machines. The president encouraged by his supporters, telling him to continue the battle, Democrats vowing that fight is done.
The long, dark night in America is over, and a new dawn is coming.
And last night, a flurry of emails coming from the RNC and the Trump campaign soliciting donations for what they're calling the Election Defense Task Force. In Washington this morning, I'm Scott Thuman. Now back to you.
People across the country are celebrating Biden and Harris's projected win, while others are protesting. Here in Michigan, people on both sides expressing what needs to be done next.
We won't stop. We
In Lansing, hundreds of the president's supporters gathered at the Capitol building demanding a recount in Michigan. Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson discredits any evidence of voting or ballot counting issues. In Kalamazoo, community organizer Karina McDowell says the presumptive election results show America is ready for change.
It means a lot. It means a lot for us women. It means a lot for us African Americans. But to see that the actual change is going in the direction that our voice has been heard, there's a lot to work to be done and to change, but this is our first step in making sure that that happens, removing who we had currently in the last 4 years.
President Trump says he will not concede. Biden supporters say the presumptive president-elect will protect democracy for all. Oversight committees in the Michigan Senate and House of Representatives vote to issue subpoenas to State Bureau of Elections. Lawmakers called an emergency session Saturday to investigate vote counts and the election process. Republican lawmakers say this isn't an attempt to change the outcome of Tuesday's election, but say they believe there are enough concerns to warrant an investigation. Democrats disagree, calling into question the motive for an investigation. The committees didn't release timelines for how the investigation will move forward. They say they'll look for firsthand accounts from eyewitnesses of alleged irregularities. And students and families are navigating the challenges, and with that comes virtual learning. During unprecedented times, a local church is working to help fill the gaps kids are missing with in-person learning at school. News Channel 3's Lexi Petrovich joins us live from Center Point Church this morning. And Lexi, the church has started a program to help children stay focused.
That's right, Hannah. Beginning in September, Center Point Church started a Learning Hub program that looks to help Kalamazoo's public school students and provide them with a place to safely focus on their studies and their classes and to be in a safe environment with that. Now, when COVID first hit, they noticed that 30% of KPS students had not been logging on to do their schoolwork from March until May. Church pastor and program director Jason Olson says they began to realize families need help and students need to be in a place where they can focus on their classes. Data indicates that 1/3 of all KPS students do not have access to the resources and infrastructure they need for successful remote learning. As for parents, Olson says they're navigating changes too.
We were just learning that, whether it was single moms or working parents or whatever the case was, they weren't ready to also be teacher and parent and worker.
3 days a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, each campus welcomes in students from 9 to 3:30. When students arrive, they get temperature checks, masks, and are separated from one another at 8-foot-long tables. The church also provides healthy meals and snacks for the kids, as well as hot foods, and all of this is free of cost for families. Just last week, the church invested in a $3,500 internet system. The learning hubs are geared towards students in 1st to 5th grade, but also welcome some students outside of that range. Olson says the need for this type of space is greater than what meets the eye.
We're going to help get these kids off the street. We're going to get them in a safe place. We're going to feed them really good food. Well, I think the need is really high, and I think we're continuing to learn that we don't even know how high that need is.
Right now, the program serves 25 students at each campus, and as you heard Olson mention, the need is much higher than people probably realize. So his hope is that people might see this and think about any extra space that they might know is available and look into starting a learning hub of their own. He says he's more than happy to help them get started with that, and he also says that there's a great need for volunteers. So anyone that's interested in either of those things can head to our website. That's wwmt.com for more information. Reporting live in Kalamazoo, Lexi Petrovich, News Channel 3.
Lexi, thank you. A projected winner declared, but several states continue to count ballots in the presidential race. Why election officials are still working this morning. Electoral votes still weeks from being officially cast. What local electors are telling us about the process. Plus, from D.C. to San Francisco, thousands celebrating a Democratic win by taking to the streets. The celebrations taking place across the country.
This time last weekend, snow was falling from the sky. Hannah was out twirling around, posting videos to Facebook. I mean, what a difference a week makes. Where those temperatures go, how long they hang on to 70 degrees. That's after break.
He pled guilty to sexual assault.
A Thank you for turning to News Channel 3 at 8. The news continues right now.
Welcome back to News Channel 3. After days of waiting for election results, Joe Biden's big win gave way to spontaneous parties and celebrations across the country. Saturday, Polo Sandoval reports on the nation's response to the historic race.
Celebrations in cities across the U.S., including many of the places that swept Joe Biden into the White House. From New York to Miami in the east and Denver to Austin out west, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris supporters flooded into the streets after CNN and other news organizations projected Biden as the winner Saturday morning. Honking horns, cheering, dancing, and popping champagne. In the U.S. Capitol, a crowd packed into the streets in front of the White House at Black Lives Matter Plaza within seconds of the race being called. Streets nearby filled with people shouting, banging pots and pans, and singing. In Philadelphia, which was key to Biden's decisive Pennsylvania win, cars honked, people waved Biden flags, and a large crowd gathered outside of Philadelphia City Hall. It was unseasonably warm, and people were pouring into the streets with everything from coffees to cocktails. In New York City, people gathered outside of the Trump International Hotel and Tower chanting, "No more Trump." In Times Square, a doctor in New York had this reaction.
Just seeing how this pandemic ravaged our city, I am so thrilled that we're going to have a leader who's going to take this pandemic and do what it needs to be done.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer joined the crowd that gathered outside the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, seen holding up a Biden-Harris sign. In Chicago, crowds gathered to celebrate outside Trump Tower, cheering and ringing bells while cars honked, some people raising Biden-Harris signs from their car windows. A crowd also gathered in Atlanta at Freedom Park while people sipped champagne and danced in the streets. In Austin, Texas, a Democratic stronghold in the middle of red Texas, revelers waved Biden 2020 flags in front of the state capitol. While Biden and Harris did not win Florida, their supporters flocked to Cafe Versailles in the heart of the Cuban-American community in Miami. And in Las Vegas, vehicles draped in Biden-Harris flags driving through the streets. Celebrations continued into the night all across America.
A Metro Atlanta county is still counting ballots. Gwinnett County says 535 mail-in ballots require a signature cure. Officials need help from technicians to tabulate military or overseas ballots. And technicians are also helping with issues related to about 1,000 provisional ballots. The County Elections Board plans to review those tomorrow. On December 14th, Michigan's Democratic presidential electors will be casting the state's 16 votes. Kalamazoo Township Clerk and longtime Democratic Party activist Mark Miller will cast the vote for Michigan's 6th district. He was chosen for his commitment to the Democratic Party throughout the years. Miller says it's gratifying to cast the electoral vote this election. If Michigan voters would have chosen President Trump for the 46th presidential election, former Democrat, now Republican, Rose Rook would have cast the vote for the 6th district. Joe Biden set to move into the White House in January with some four-legged friends joining him. His first family also includes his fur family. He and his wife have 2 German shepherds named Major and Champ. The Bidens fostered Major before adopting him from the Delaware Humane Society in 2018. They bring back the tradition of first pet in the White House. All right, it is 8:17. Meteorologist Christina Anthony joining us. And Christina, we've got a lot of good weather coming our way today.
Yeah, we do. In fact, we're going to take a moment of silence here, Hannah. For just a minute, I want us to remember the snow that fell this time last weekend.
Yes.
Can you believe it? No. And what a difference a week makes. Okay, moment over. This week is just too good, and there's a train moving on our Bangor live camera, so we had to move on quickly. Horizon Broadband partners, we appreciate that view over Bangor on a Sunday morning. Lots of sunshine, and hey, I'm forecasting record warmth all the way through Tuesday. It's not until Tuesday evening, Tuesday night that some showers and a few thunderstorms develop, and then it's back to that November reality, which isn't so bad, but forecasting temperatures that start with a 5 during the afternoon instead of the 7 that I'm forecasting for the next few days. That system that moves in Tuesday night, here it is right now. Well, that's pretty far away, spreading snow and a wintry mix to our friends over in the Rockies. It's going to take a while to get here, and in the meantime, an area of high pressure is in control. The same one responsible for that lovely start to the weekend yesterday, and also winds rotating clockwise around this thing. Yeah, that means that we get this nice southerly flow, boosting your temperatures today, tomorrow, and into Tuesday. We pause the clock at 8 a.m. Monday. This front still off to the west, and even early Tuesday morning, the front is still behind me, though I am forecasting an increase in clouds throughout your day on Tuesday, so perhaps not as much sunshine. Still, the temperatures are right where you want them to be in November if you're a warm weather fan. If you're a cool weather fan, hey, we have something for you too. I'm a people pleaser, all right? Temperatures back to 50-something degrees by Wednesday and into Thursday. Right now, temperatures are in the middle 40s in Kalamazoo. We have plenty of sunshine. Let's take you live outside, 8:19. Look at all of that blue sky over Kalamazoo, and we still have some color in the trees too. You can see a little bit of orange. Maybe it's a little brown at this point, but hey, that sunshine makes everything look a little bit better. Temperatures in the middle 40s. Kalamazoo right now, as I mentioned, likewise in Three Rivers, 53 Sturgis. Good morning, Coldwater. 46 degrees there, 51 over in Marshall. Welcome to Sunday, South Haven, 55 degrees. And welcome to your second nice weekend day, Grand Rapids at 50 degrees as well. From here, we go to there, 74 degrees. So we're kind of flip-flopping. It's like 47 right now in Kalamazoo. We're doing the opposite or the reciprocal or whatever that's called. It's been a while since I took math. Sunny to partly cloudy today. It's going to be warm, Hannah. That's what I mean, okay? It's just going to be warm. Middle 50s tonight, bonfire-friendly weather. Saw lots of photos of West Michiganders enjoying bonfires over the past couple of nights. By Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on our Maple Hill Auto Group 7-day forecast, it'll be a little chilly. You'll have to be pretty close to that fire to stay warm.
Burry, you'll need your jacket, but for now, keep it in the closet and break out the t-shirt and shorts. I had to wear a t-shirt running errands yesterday. I couldn't wear a long sleeve or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, one-man banding, like tripod camera today.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what am I going to wear? I'm just going to be, it's from sweater weather last weekend to sweating weather this weekend. Crazy.
Crazy. All right, thank you, Christina. We're getting an update this morning on a long-standing plan to send tourists to space, the new timeline for launch, and who will be on board. Holiday preparations already underway for much of the globe. The new celebrity recommendations for your shopping list.
The struggles area people face.
Welcome back to News Channel 3. British billionaire and Virgin Group founder Richard Branson says he's going to launch into orbit aboard his company's spaceship before allowing customers. Virgin Galactic is targeting a date in the first quarter of next year, but the company has been saying it would fly customers to space, quote, in a year or so since 2004. But competition may motivate Virgin to get the lead out. Fellow billionaires Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos also racing to be first to whisk paying tourists to space. Neither Musk nor Bezos has said they would make the journey themselves. Oprah's annual list of her favorite things is back, and it's just in time for the beginning of the holiday shopping season. This year, the mogul put a spotlight on Black-owned and Black-led businesses. The 2020 list includes 72 items. Some of the highlights are Telfair, a company that sells affordable vegan leather handbags, and one of the more pricier items on the list, an outdoor-friendly Samsung TV. You can find a full list of Oprah's favorite things on her website, oprahmag.com. All right, the time now is 8:25. Time to check in now with meteorologist Christina Anthony. She's doing a little dance over there. Is that your warm weather dance?
Yeah, it is. Something like that. Well, you know who else makes a list? Santa. Right?
The nice list, the naughty list.
Exactly. We're getting kind of close here, all right? We're like 18 days away from Thanksgiving. It's 46 days, 15 hours, and 34 minutes. Can you tell I'm counting? Down till Christmas, all right? So we'll just round up. I'm doing a lot of math this morning. 47 days away from Christmas at this point. So if you want to do some decorating, and trust me, Hannah, I know I'm going to get emails like, stop talking about Christmas decorations.
Lights, we do.
But it's going to be warm all the way through Tuesday, and I'm not forecasting any weather drama through Tuesday afternoon. So if you want to get a head start on things, I suggest decking the halls over the next few days.
I've never put Christmas lights up, but I could imagine in the snow it wouldn't be fun. So
ooh,
take
I don't think
advantage
so.
of the
Icy ladder?
sunshine. Dangerous. All right. Thank you, Christina. Coronavirus cases surging to record highs in West Michigan. The changes a local court system is making in response. Plus, health experts warning of a new symptom presenting with COVID-19 infections. Why they say signs of concern can start with your gut. A side effect of the pandemic reported among those without the virus. How you can fight stress-related headaches. That's when we return.
News Channel 3's Weather Alert, covering West Michigan to protect and alert you. This is News Channel 3, live at 8:30.
Good morning. You're watching News Channel 3. I'm Hannah Knowles. We're watching West Michigan this morning. Here's a look at the top developing stories. State lawmakers launching an investigation into election concerns in an emergency session Saturday. Oversight committees in the Michigan Senate and House of Representatives voted to issue subpoenas to the State Bureau of Elections. The committees say they'll look for firsthand accounts from eyewitnesses. Some Michiganders celebrating the projected win of the Biden-Harris campaign, while others protest. In Lansing, hundreds gathered at the Capitol building demanding a recount. Meantime, in Kalamazoo, many celebrating the Democratic win with a dance party. Organizers say the results are a sign their voices for change are being heard. Center Point Church in Kalamazoo now offering a program to help students and families with remote learning. 3 days a week, students are offered a place to work, meals, and internet for no cost. There's currently a wait list to enroll in the Learning Hub program, but you can learn more or find out how you can start your own hub by finding this article on our website. That's WWMT.com. Time to take a look outside downtown Kalamazoo. Good morning through our Peregrine Tower Live Eye. It is a beautiful start to your Sunday. Get outside, enjoy it. Meteorologist Christina Anthony joining us for a look at your forecast. Good morning, Christina.
Good morning. Yeah, we've had about an hour of daylight so far, and it's been spectacular. And I'm forecasting a full 2 hours of really, There's only 2 hours in today, by the way. Sorry about that. A full 10 hours of nice weather today. I don't know why, Hannah, I'm trying to do math like this early in the morning. I need to just stop. Satellite and radar showing plenty of snow over in the Rockies. That's our next system. It's going to take a really long time to get here, not until Tuesday evening, Tuesday night. And for us, it just spells rain, maybe some thunderstorms. In the meantime, we sneak in a few bright and warm days, but it is going to be chilly here just to start things off. In Kalamazoo, middle 40s, around 50 degrees Grand Rapids, 55 in South Haven. Of course, I say that it's chilly, but these temperatures are closer to where we should be during the afternoon, so not so bad for a November morning. Sunny to partly cloudy today. Temperatures around 70 degrees by 1 o'clock. I'll let you know how long we hang on to the unseasonably warm air. Hannah, that's live at 8:30.
2 people behind bars this morning after officers discover firearms inside a vehicle in Kalamazoo. Kalamazoo public safety officers were monitoring Elizabeth Street near Westnedge Avenue for crowd concerns around 1:30 this morning when they conducted a traffic stop. Officers seized two firearms. The suspects, both 23 years old, are facing weapons offense charges. State officials reporting the highest daily increase of COVID-19 infections yet. Another 6,000 people have tested positive for the virus. On your screens now is a look at the state's latest numbers. The total number of cases since March is now up to 207,000. The state is also reporting 65 new deaths. More than 7,500 people have died from the coronavirus in our state. And the 7-day average for the daily cases is now nearing 4,000, the highest it's ever been. Here's a county-by-county breakdown of coronavirus infections and deaths in West Michigan. As you can see, Kent County leads the region in total cases and deaths. Just under 18,000 people have tested positive in Kent County, and 206 people have died. Ottawa County reporting the second highest case count, and in Kalamazoo County, more than 5,000 people have tested positive and 123 have died. 8 of those deaths reported in the last 7 days. So far, more than 128,000 people have recovered in Michigan. The Kent County Probate Court moving all hearings online due to a rise in coronavirus cases in the area. All previously scheduled and future hearings will take place in the virtual courtroom, accessed through the county's website. That information is on your screens now. The court says they will be sending notices to those who will need to have access to those virtual hearings. Day after day, the U.S. is breaking one record after another as COVID-19 continues to spread. As Britt Conway reports, Dr. Anthony Fauci says he's cautiously optimistic that we might have a vaccine in the next couple of months.
It's really concerning. This is going to get worse before it gets better, and it could get significantly worse.
Former FDA Commissioner Scott Gottlieb believes the COVID-19 case count will, in his words, explode over the next several weeks.
We're right at a tipping point. It's not just the number of cases that are being diagnosed, but we need to look at hospitalizations, which are growing very quickly across all country.
All while scientists work frantically to find a vaccine. Dr. Anthony Fauci told the CEO of the American Medical Association that the U.S. has 6 vaccine candidates in the works. 5 of those are in phase 3 trials, and 2 of them are fully enrolled.
We hope that as we get into November and maybe in the early December, we will get an answer as to whether or not one or more of these candidates are safe and effective. I'm cautiously optimistic.
But having a vaccine isn't a cure-all, literally. There are going to be 2 key questions at play.
First of all, how effective would the vaccine be? And as importantly, how many individuals are going to opt to take the vaccine?
So if we get a reasonably effective vaccine and a substantial number of people take it,
I think we're going to be going in the right direction towards approaching some degree of normality as we head into 2021 in the second, third, and fourth quarter of 2021.
I'm Britt Conway reporting.
And as the case count ticks up, Dr. Gottlieb expects we will see some cities and states adopt more restrictive measures based on how the virus is developing in each particular region. A new review shows almost 20% of COVID-19 patients may only present with gastrointestinal symptoms. Those symptoms can include nausea, vomiting, loss of appetite, diarrhea, and pain. Researchers say radiologists doing abdominal scans should be vigilant during the pandemic. And during the COVID-19 pandemic, healthcare workers have been on the front lines battling the deadly virus. A lot of times it's people you don't see, the night shift workers who are working overtime, saving thousands of lives.
The work that all essential workers, especially those who work the night shift, is doing is what's keeping this country together right now.
Mary Carney is the state director of pre-licensure nursing for Western Governors University, Indiana. Carney says as a night nurse herself, her role can sometimes be overlooked because of the hours she works. That's why they're recognizing night nurses in Indiana and Michigan. WGU staff and leaders are launching their first Night Shift Nurses Week campaign in the Mitten. Carney says during this week, they'll deliver more than 1,000 appreciation kits to those who work while we sleep.
With COVID, I think it's really brought to the forefront how vital healthcare workers are and what kind of incredible risks they put themselves into to care for people. And night shift has its own separate set of risks.
Carney says if you see a night nurse, make sure to say thank you. WGU is also offering a night shift nurse scholarship to night nurses returning to school. To learn more about that, you can find this article on our website, wwmt.com. Public health officials say staying home is the best way to protect yourself from COVID-19. But if you must fly this holiday season, there are some ways to stay safe at 35,000 feet. The industry group Airlines for America recommends you get to the airport early and plan ahead, especially when it comes to food, as many of the restaurants aren't open. The group suggests bringing a snack and an empty water bottle to fill up on the other side of TSA.
U.S. Airlines, since the onset of this pandemic, have absolutely prioritized the safety and health of all passengers and their crew members. They're leaning into science to make decisions.
In addition to deep cleaned planes, the organization says during check-in, passengers can expect to be asked some simple questions, health questions, surrounding COVID-19 and exposure. Months after her death, her legacy carries on. The new plan to honor the life of Grand Rapids native Breonna Taylor. Plus, a black man shot and killed by police laid to rest. How his family hopes his death will help create change for the future.